Oh, you should be concerned. If LeBron's got to go 46, 12, and 5, and you're barely pulling out a game against the Pacers at home. I mean, man, this to me, this is why this will be the hardest run that LeBron's gone through the playoffs. We've seen how he had to play in game number 2. Going to Indiana, he's still got to play that way. He's still got to have that same mentality because there are not enough players on the Cavs that you can depend on. Now, the Cavs, they have the oldest roster in the playoffs, but they got 3 rotation guys. They only played in a couple playoff games. So this is how LeBron's going to have to play. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on him. If you're a Cavs fan, you should be concerned.
Is it that the rest of the team hasn't figured out how to play together because they have not had a starting rotation play together at length? Or is it that they're just not good?
Well, I don't want to say they're not good because it's insulting to the guys and what they've accomplished, but they are certainly not proven playoff performers. If all of a sudden your bold change that you're making the starting lineup is inserting JR, who's coming off the worst regular season of his career, and when we're saying JR's the guy you can rely on, when, again, he's coming off the worst regular season of his career, and that was before he threw hot soup on the assistant coach, like, you are in a position where it is LeBron and everybody else. And that is, this is the most similar team. He has not been on a team like this since he got to Miami, like since before he went to Miami the first time, where what is the path to victory? When he was in Miami, there was always the chance, especially the first few years, D-Wade's going to have a great game. The last 3 years, we've seen Kyrie. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year, CC, when LeBron got in foul trouble, and Kyrie carried them. He always had a guy you know can do that. Kevin Love's playing terribly this series. That was before he tore a ligament in his left thumb. And so it has to be LeBron. It just has to be LeBron every night.
You talk about the first time LeBron was on the Cavs. And the big difference, if you want to compare the talent, it would be hard to do. But where they were elite was defensively. People forget that. That's what they're so bad at. Now, even when they're not making shots, they're not a good defensive team. Cal Korver is not a good defender. JR, when he wants to, he's engaged now, so he's one of their better defenders now. But the problem is, Jenna, who is dependable night in and night out? And there is not a group of guys that you can say, like, who is Rodney Hood in the playoffs? We don't know. George Hill. Like, how good of a defender, how good of a shooter is he going to be in the playoffs? That we don't. And he's a guy with some experience. And that we don't know. So those are the questions that we have to answer as we go throughout this playoff. Who do these guys become playing alongside of the King?
But why are we asking these questions now? We've had this group together since the All-Star break, for the most part.
No, we haven't.
Not the 5 together, but we had these guys on the team.
I would say we're asking it now because, and we're going to have Steven Jackson on a little bit, and he can speak to this. It is a different... It's damn near a different sport in the playoffs. That's overstating it slightly, but I watched Rodney Hood last night not be able to dribble the basketball. Like, this guy, no matter what you think of Rodney Hood, he was a good player at Duke. He was a good player at Utah. He was a good player when he first got to the Cavs. All of a sudden last night, he's having the ball taken away from him. Jordan Clarkson. We have only seen the worst of Jordan Clarkson. The dribble, I'm going to take contested mid-range shot. Like, which is why, if you do have a level of concern for Cleveland, and they haven't played a road game yet.
Yeah, none of these players have played under the pressure where they are the scapegoat, where people are looking to blame them. They're not going to blame LeBron. We see what LeBron can do. Yeah. It's the rest of them that they're pointing at, and that's never happened in their career.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.